We do talk about time capsules. My name is Elyse and I work at Not Forgotten, and this channel, Shopping with Elyse, I go over my product recommendations and also give you guys some ideas on how to use these time capsules. I know that when we are talking about these digital time capsules, they are a next generation product. So a lot of people don't quite understand what that means. So that's what I'm here for. So stay tuned. We are going to hop right into it, and then we are going to do a product unboxing so you can see exactly what it looks like when you order it on Amazon. So today we are talking about the time capsules. As you all know, it is a federal holiday that we have in the United States. It takes place on the last Monday in May, and we honor the fallen soldiers, the ones who have dedicated their lives and fought in our nation's wars. So many people celebrate all different kinds of ways. If you want to take a more traditional approach, they visit cemeteries and memorials to honor those that we've lost and to mourn them. Many volunteers, they place American flags on graves of military personnel in national cemeteries, and some people wear the red poppy in remembrance of those fallen in war. So that's a tradition that began with World War I, after World War I, and it is originally known as Decoration Day. It originated in the years following the Civil War, and it became an official federal holiday in 1971. So there's a lot of history to it, but that's okay. We love history here at Not Forgotten. That's what we are working to build. And we're going to give you guys another way to remember those we've lost. Some people also, they talk to their elders, they look at photos, and they share stories. So if someone you love has served our country, or you are just looking for a gift for the family of a fallen soldier, our memory box is the one I'm going to be talking about today and recommending as a product recommendation. So if you followed along with any of the other videos, you know that I just go through and talk a little bit about each product to give you guys a good idea of what exactly it is. We have 6 products, but I think they all have their unique differences, so I like to highlight those and make sure you know exactly what you are getting when you order them on our Amazon storefront. So today I will be talking about the various ways that you can use a time capsule to remember your heroes for centuries. As always, our products are built on unique technology, and they're made right here in the US. They're gifts with a difference, and they're made to be kept for a very long time. This product in particular is kept for 150 years. We are able to preserve your memories for 150 years. So very incredible what we're able to do, and I'm super excited all about it. But before I hop right in, I want to show you the product video so you can see for yourself exactly what we are talking about when we discuss the memory box. So stay tuned, here we go. Okay, so I hope you guys got a better idea of what we're talking about when we do discuss the memory box. As always, with all of our products, they capture stories that are worth sharing forever. The memory box is just like that. When loved ones leave us, especially in this case for Memorial Day, fallen soldiers, they are never truly gone, and now you can make an extra special tribute to a person's legacy that honors their life and their times that they were alive for. Time capsules play their part in making that happen. So a reminder of the basics of the Not Forgotten Time Capsule. I know the video went over it, but I like to just hop right in and tell you guys, because each product is different, but each product has these 3 basics to ensure that your time capsule is never lost, and that when you make it, you can enjoy it for the time that the duration that it has set in the time capsule. So our products have 50 years, 150, or 300. We have a range so that you can choose. This one again is 150, but each time capsule has the basics, and these 3 basics I'm going to go over really quickly. 1, our time capsules are never lost. What is the point of making a time capsule if you can't enjoy it? We make sure that they're never lost because each time capsule is linked to your person's family history through GEDCOM, and it's mapped with the International Time Capsule Society. So premium capsules like the 300-year DIY, other products that I've talked about in the past, they're cataloged on the WorldCat and they're recorded as well on the blockchain. We do cover all time capsules against data rot and technology obsolescence, which I will get into a bit later. We do this with a cast iron combination of preservation policy and data storage in the climate-controlled vaults in the US. So all of our time capsules are stored in a climate-controlled vault in the US, as well as a copy of it and then an additional copy in the cloud. So we adhere to standards set forth by the US Library of Congress and the US National Archives and Records Administration. So our time capsules feature the highest archiving standards, and all of this, of course, is on our Amazon storefront. If you scroll down to the right, I believe all of our credentials are there to verify everything that I'm saying, but we do follow these strict archiving processes to make sure that when you do go through all the work of putting your time capsule together, that it is there when you and your loved ones want to view it. We also have all of our time capsules. They're safeguarded and they're protected by the Digital Preservation Trust. As Routers put it, Not Forgotten strives for immortality, which is the exact same wish your audience has for their family stories. So we are trying to, make these stories last longer. We know how important they are, especially when it comes to Memorial Day and you were celebrating and honoring someone in your family, or someone that you love who's not in your family, maybe a friend who has passed away serving our country. And I think it's really important that we not only acknowledge that, but honor that and do that with a memory box to make sure that no matter what happens, we can always access their documents, their photos, and I'll get into all of that good stuff after. But each time capsule does has those 3 basic ways of just mapping it and making sure that it never gets lost. However, with the memory box, because it is one of the premium time capsules, we have 2 additional ways of mapping it. So again, just to go over it for anyone who just joined the live, we have a permanent genealogy record of you. It's created and bound to your time capsule. Your time capsule is then mapped on the International Time Capsule Registry. What that means, slight diversion, what that means is that the International Time Capsule Society, we're the technology behind that. They have a map that shows every single time capsule that they have recorded, that we've recorded. Internationally and domestically, you can hover over Barcelona, you can see people's time capsules, you can do the same with Detroit, for example. And whenever you make a time capsule, let's say you are in Kansas and you make a time capsule, you might be the first person in history to make a time capsule in Kansas. So it's very cool. You have your location mapped, and it gives you a better idea of who in your area has made your time capsule. And it's just a cool way to visually see in the US or wherever country that you're looking at how many time capsules have been made. And that is actually the most clicked on interactive part of our site. So obviously people love it, and you will be there if you do make a time capsule. So that's what I mean by being mapped on the International Time Capsule Society registry. Third, your time capsule will have a basic library record. What that means is just the name of you and then the words below it, just describing, who you are, all of that information to give the person context to when they open your time capsule. But the fun thing with this one is that you also get a personalized library record. That's also created and linked to your time capsule. So as well as, the good information, the title, you also have a photo of yourself, which I think is perfect when we're talking about Memorial Day. time capsules because everyone that served our country takes these really beautiful photos after graduation of them in their military uniform, and that would be a perfect one to put on this time capsule. I know that at funerals they constantly put those pictures up, so that's the same kind of picture unless you have a really good headshot of them or a really good family photo that you love. Regardless, up to you, but if you do have that army picture, military, Navy, whatever, anything, any serviceman, it's really important that you put that in there, even if it's not the one you choose for your library record. Regardless, you do get a personalized library record, so you get to choose a photo of your choice to be on that. And lastly, you do have it cataloged on the WorldCat. For those of you who don't know, the WorldCat is the world's largest library catalog. You can go and check it out after our live. It's a really cool resource, and I'm very happy that Not Forgotten is on there because we are a registered library, which is very cool. So we are the Library of Human Experience, like I like to say. So if you want to join this library, if you want to be found by anyone looking at this global database, that's where you will be. You just have to type your name and Not Forgotten. For example, my grandma has made a time capsule. She has graciously made it public so that all of you guys can see what one would look like. She did the in-home concierge when a videographer came into her house and they shot her for 2 hours with 2 different cameras, lighting, sound, everything, and edit it into a really stunning 30-minute video. So if you want to go check that out, her name is Linda Kreider, Crider, and then you would go on the WorldCat, type that in, and say Not Forgotten, press enter, search it, and you could see her Not Forgotten library record, which is personalized, so you can get a better idea of what I'm saying. Of course, don't do that until after my live, but I want to tell you a little bit more about the product, which you can buy on our Amazon storefront. So the specific features of the memory box is that it is preserved for 150 years, and it stores up to 20 gigabytes of digital assets, which is incredible. It is the most storage that we have on any of our time capsules that we offer. The other ones have 2 gigabytes, and this has 20. So it's designed to let your story live on. Every family, regardless of the time capsule, just in general, every family has a keepsake of photos, mementos, and treasures. So think of the memory box as a digital version of that. So I think it's awesome. And it offers your loved ones the chance to know you, to learn from you, and to remember you as the spectacular human that you are. They'll see and hear your messages to them and get a real feel for your life through the photos and documents that you share. So again, this will last for up to 150 years. It doesn't rot, it won't get lost, and it's great because of its room for creativity and its universal appeal. Even if you were on the live and you're thinking, Elyse, I don't have a fallen soldier in my family, no one in my family has been in a war, no one's fought for our country, that's okay. We're just focusing this episode because Memorial Day weekend's coming up, but the memory box is really for everyone. If you have anything that you want to store and you want to preserve, this is for you. So keep watching. Maybe you'll get some ideas about what to use, even if, you know, the specific niche we're talking about doesn't apply. When you do purchase the memory box, as I said, you have room to include anything that you want to preserve and show your loved ones for up to 150 years, which is 5 generations of your family. It's very awesome. It's a considerable amount of time to really get that family heritage passed down. And after you do create this time capsule, you have to choose the opening date within the time of creation and the 50-year mark. So you have any time to choose that opening date. Although this product does differ from our other ones because it is storage only, that means that you don't work with a videographer, you don't follow templates to create an interview style video, and you don't focus your entire time capsule on that 30-minute video. But our 20 gigabytes of space allows you to insert a video of yourself or of your soldier or a loved one sharing a story about your soldier if you want to include that. So get others to tell stories of them too. You have 20 gigabytes, it's plenty of space, so it's actually a perk. It really means that you can store plenty, and that, just to break that down for you guys who aren't familiar, because I wasn't familiar with this until I started working at Not Forgotten, but 20 gigabytes actually allows for you up to 7,000 photos or 20 hours of video. So if you were feeling like, oh, Elyse, I feel like I got cheated, I don't have that 30-minute video like my DIY 50-year time capsule or my 150-year DIY time capsule, that's okay. You have 20 hours to play with if you're just focusing on video, so you can put as many videos as you want in there. So get creative with it. Don't leave anything out. Really think of this as a holistic way to remember your soldier and to honor them. when people pass away, oftentimes we get sympathy cards, we get flowers to accompany every loss, but now there is a better way, a more enduring way to remember your loved ones and cherish their memory. So there are a lot of creative ways to use up that 20 gigabytes to the best of your ability and to build your memorial time capsule that's dedicated to your soldiers. So I want to talk to you guys about that because I think you need to know what to put in these time capsules, and then you can get a better idea of how useful this space is and how awesome it is that we are able to offer 20 gigabytes. So think, when you're thinking about the time capsule, think important messages, important documents and records. So discharge papers, for example. They also have enlistment papers that cover the whole time a soldier has served, and it oftentimes include where they went, what they did, where they served and how long they served for, etc. It gives all the information of the years that they were in their force. So if you're trying to just paint some context of your soldier, just highlight their accomplishments, because although that's not like a medal or anything like that, which we'll talk about later, it is an accomplishment just to get through boot camp and to be in that kind of setting for as long as they were. So really make sure to put all the context of where they were and how long, so we can get a really good idea of who they were and what their deployment looked like. So then, of course, we want to add photos. Photos are the backbone of Not Forgotten. Time capsules always have photos. You love to see the time that, the time capsule was created in, and these photos are really important. Just the other day, I was having a conversation with my grandma, and her grandfather was actually in the Spanish-American War, but she says that she doesn't know much about him because they didn't take pictures or record a lot. She said all we have are his army pictures, so they only have the pictures that were professionally taken of him, or like a few pictures that they took of him on base. So she also mentioned that her dad was in the army 80 years ago, and my grandma has pictures of him in his military uniform, but she said that after a while the photos become discolored and it's hard to look at because it has just considerably aged. So make sure that you have all of these important photos preserved and protected with copies as well, and put them in the time capsule so we can get, again, a better idea of who your soldier was. And remember, although this is for Memorial Day, you don't only have to put photos of them in uniform. Please put photos of them enjoying their lives before service. Do a high school graduation, maybe when they were a baby, maybe a funny prom picture, anything that really wraps them up into who they were as a person. Yes, they are servicemen, and we are so grateful for that, but they are also humans, and they are sons and uncles and fathers and husbands. So let's honor that as well, and throw some family photos in there and really capture who they were holistically, right? So that's a great idea. Also, as I said before, service in itself, I believe, is a huge accomplishment and deserves an award. But for those who pushed a little bit harder and maybe got a medal or another award, remember to put those in there and remember their accomplishments. So I know what you're thinking, Elyse. I have a medal, but I don't want to put it in a time capsule. I thought this was digital. How do I do that? Don't worry. We can scan it and digitize it and put it in the time capsule for you. So that way you don't actually have to part with the physical asset of theirs, but you're able to put it in the time capsule so that if we're looking back on it, 50 years from now, and you suddenly have misplaced the medal, or you don't know where it's gone, or maybe your sister has taken it, things happen, who knows, but you will have a picture of it to remember what it looked like. And that's, I think, the best way to go about it, especially when it's digital. A lot of our clients, they love it because with physical, back in the day when you're making a time capsule, I actually made one in 7th grade. When we did our 7th grade class time capsule, it was a huge deal, and we just filled it with a bunch of, I'm a huge writer, so I had a bunch of letters from friends. We all wrote each other little letters. But I also remember putting in a necklace that I really loved at the time. I wore it every day, and I wanted to put it in my time capsule because I thought it was very representative of my 7th grade experience. I'm not quite sure why, but 7th grade me thought that it was. So I was also quite sad when I had to put my necklace in the time capsule because I had to take it off my neck, and I would never be able to wear it again until I opened it many years later. So the great things about digital time capsules is that you don't have to do that. You don't have to lose anything, you don't have to sacrifice anything, and you don't have to get rid of anything that you want to keep and hold on to and use. So think dog tags, even uniforms. Although these are physical assets, we can just scan and digitize them here at Not Forgotten. So you don't have to give up the things that you want to keep, and you don't have to worry about losing these assets because you will always have documentation of them as well as various copies. So I think that's incredible. I honestly didn't think about it like that before I started working here and started to understand really how these time capsules work. But anything physical you can put in the time capsule through photography. So very thankful for that. May is National Photography Month, so shout out to that because it's helping us really piece together beautiful pieces of history for your family. Another thing that you guys can do is mementos. Put mementos of where they served. A lot of soldiers, my grandma was telling me that her grandfather and her father, they brought stuff home from cities they were stationed in. So, for example, my brother was going to be stationed, my brother's in the Army, he's stationed in Washington right now, and he was going to actually be deported go into Japan. Very crazy. I'm sure he would have brought back a lot of cool mementos from Japan. He's no longer doing that, but if I was making a time capsule for, knock on wood, a fallen soldier, I would definitely put mementos in from where they were stationed. I think that would just add a really international perspective to it, especially if they were in Germany and Afghanistan, all these different places, which many of the soldiers are. So very important. Even just, their bases. My brother went from training in Fort Benning, Georgia, and now he's in Washington. And those are two very different settings. And I think, he sent me photos of the trees. Georgia did not have a lot going on, but, he really liked the food down there. So I'd probably put like a picture of whatever he sent me, like the fried chicken. Like, think about all of this. And I know we are talking about soldiers, fallen soldiers, and they're probably older that did not experience this in the age of technology, but we are living through, having a smartphone. So maybe your soldier has sent you photos, he sent you videos, he sent you voicemails, all of that good stuff. You can put these in the time capsule. So again, although we are giving great examples for people who have fought many years ago, if you have recently lost a soldier in the age of technology, you can put anything that they have sent you in our time capsules. Voicemails are really important. If they've sent you if they called you, they couldn't get a hold of you and they left you a very nice voicemail, or their family members a nice voicemail, be sure to put that in the memory box. I talk to a lot of people who lose other people, not just fallen soldiers, but in general, loss affects everyone. And one of the common complaints that they have is that they just want to hear the person's voice. They haven't heard them laugh. They haven't heard them say their name in a while. Like, they'd be like, hey, Elyse, like, I haven't, someone I know passed away, and sometimes you just want to hear their voice. So really think about if they've left you any voice recordings or any voicemails, or if you have, anything that you want to put in there, because I'm telling you, as the years go by, you're going to want to hear them, especially on occasions when it's like your birthday or something like that, when you're feeling a little down that they're not here. So just take full advantage of that and be sure to transfer those voicemails over as quickly as possible. Our phones are a little bit finicky and technology can get the best of us. So let's save those before anything happens to them. They're really important and you can't get these back. So let's make sure to put anything, including video uploads, because we are living in the age of technology. If they're sending you text messages from the base, my brother's done that, just videos of, the barracks when he was actually quarantining in the barracks during the COVID-19 pandemic. He sent me a picture and it was pretty crazy. Everyone lined up in their beds. So, if anyone sent you anything like that and you just want to save it, go through your texts, go through email messages, anything, and see what you can get. You'll be very surprised at how much you stumble upon. So think about anything they've sent you from base, from deployment, from anything like that. It is much easier now than before to communicate with your loved ones when you're stationed domestically or even internationally. So obviously in boot camp, you are only allowed to communicate via letters. Even now, even in the age of technology, even in 2020, my brother was going through boot camp and they took his phone away and he can only communicate via letters. Obviously, once you get through boot camp and you pass that point, you are able to call and video chat with whoever you want. So if you have clips of these conversations, they can be preserved. And remember to put their favorite things in there too. Also, I just want to say, a lot of people don't recognize this, but when you're FaceTiming someone, you could take a screenshot and you could put that screenshot as well in the time capsule. So really get creative with it. And remember to put their favorite things in there too, places they like to go, music they like to listen to, their favorite movies, the way their descendants, anything. That way their descendants can open the time capsule and they can be very pleasantly surprised that, you know, they know more about their grandfather or their uncle or whoever it may be than just that he served our country. You know, like, what did he like? What made him happy? What made him smile? What made him sad? What were his biggest pet peeves? That sort of thing. So that's awesome. I think that's really important. And then lastly, just my favorite asset to put in the memory boxes are letters. So they do write letters to their family when they're away. Just as I said before, they confiscate their phone, or back in the day, if you're making a memory box for someone who passed away quite a long time ago, I'm sure you have plenty of letters that he or she has written. And my favorite actually is love letters. The love letters that they wrote to their wives who they had just married before they were deployed, I think are just really beautiful pieces of history. And if you have any of those, please scan them. Also, another great asset are diary entries or journal entries that soldiers kept to record their memories and experiences while they were away. So I really love the idea of just capturing someone's writing. You can see, you know, not only what their handwriting looked like, but really read about what they were experiencing. And that way, you know, you don't have to sign up and do it yourself, but you can live through them. I brought a prop for you guys because, you know, Memorial Day hits close to home with someone serving. But, wow. So my brother sent me this from training in Fort Benning, and it is a letter, and he's dated it. He actually sent this on April 7th, 2020, which was, my birthday's on the 10th, so he sent me like a birthday letter, and also just how's home. His first thing is, how's everything? Is everything just getting worse and worse? Talking about the pandemic. How's home? I can't wait to get done with training and sent to my unit. I want to find out where they'll send me in a week or two. When I get to my unit, I'm going to take a week of leave, so I'll be back in Jersey for a week. Is Gianna still staying with you guys? We've been learning a bunch of things these past few weeks. We learned how to patrol, react to an ambush. We got combat lifesaver certification, so we know what to do if anyone gets shot, etc. And we learned how to search enemies' KIAs, in parentheses, killed in action. We have to search every part of them, including their butt. Ew, LOL. So really just get personal with it. These are so funny, and I'm so grateful that he sent me these, and I'm excited to, you know, digitize them, put them in my own time capsule, because I made my own, of course. And I love them. You know, they make me smile. He said happy birthday in it. He gave me a little introduction. He did a typical Andrew joke, and it just reminds me of who he is. So if you have a fallen soldier and you have any letters, please put those in there. They make such a difference to show them the kind of person that they are. And obviously, I've given you all of these ways to use them. I hope they've been helpful. There is infinite room for creativity, and our time capsules, especially our memory boxes, because of how much storage we're able to offer you guys, we ensure that nothing is overlooked, especially for the memory boxes. So, for example, you know, when questions about the future are intense and full of loss, if you were talking about a fallen soldier, maybe he's left behind some children at home, the answers that time capsules can deliver, they help the joy live on beyond the difficult times. So not forgotten time capsules, they're never lost, they're never forgotten, and they help you even through grief. You know, if your child is saying, what was daddy like? What did he look like? What did he sound like? What were his favorite things? You're able to bring something up and really show who he was. And the best part is that it's all in like a digital keepsake box. It's in one place, 3 different copies in the cloud, in a climate controlled vault, and then another physical copy of the technology that it's on, so that you don't have to worry about it. You can move 20 times and not have to ever worry about misplacing anything that really matters to you. So I think that's incredibly important to note. And once you have included everything that you want, you've made your memory box, your time capsule is cataloged, it's handed over to the Preservation Trust to care for generations of your family to enjoy. Our memory box does have more than enough storage, as I said, to showcase the best of someone's life, a fallen soldier's life, and become a thoughtful family gift as well. So just give the gift of remembrance. I think that's really important. And then once the memory boxes are created, like I said before, all that remains is the opening date, and they could be set for any time in the next 50 years. So once you create it, you have 50 years to pick an opening date. So I think if I were you guys making a memory box for someone who's passed away, who's served our country, maybe I go to a Memorial Day weekend, family barbecue, we get together, we make the memory box together. So you let your family know, or even just like any event coming on. However, it is Friday. We are on Amazon Prime. Plenty of time if you're having a Monday or Sunday barbecue. It'll get to you pretty quick. So what you guys can do is tell all of your family members, all of your friends. Let's say someone named Nick passed away after serving, or someone in your history, and you guys go, okay, we're gonna make a memory box for Nick. I want everyone attending the barbecue to bring a picture of him or a funny memory. Or be ready to talk about it in front of the camera. So just to film like a 2-minute video of them sharing a funny story about that person, or a really heartfelt story, or maybe the ways that they helped make them laugh when they weren't feeling too great, or they helped them with inspirational advice, or they pushed them into the right decision when they wanted to make the toxic decision. Anything like that. Get everyone together to really honor this person and to really think about who they were, what made them special and unique. And you will be absolutely amazed at how many people have mementos that you don't communicate about, you don't really know. Someone might bring a letter that he or she wrote to them that really highlights like a lot of things that might be comforting to you, and you might have never even seen it, and you might have never even seen it if it wasn't for the memory boxes. I think time capsules are extremely unifying as well, because we're all getting together to make sure that the time capsule is filled in the most authentic way possible. So get your family and friends together this Memorial Day weekend. If you're having that barbecue, you're already getting together. Ask them to bring something along that you can put in this memory box. And then with the opening date, you can set it, and you could do an anniversary. You can either do it for the anniversary of their passing. You can do it for the next Memorial Day when you guys are all together. I know it's very hard to get family and friends all in one place these days. I get it. But if you guys say, hey, we're coming together, we're making these time capsules. Next time we have this family Memorial Day barbecue in 5 years, let's open it all together and really honor him. Or maybe in the next year. You don't have to wait 20 years to enjoy it. You can wait a year, 5 years. A lot of our brides, for example, they like to wait into the first year of them getting married. They get to revisit their wedding video and all of that. So it's kind of the same concept, just to keep their memory alive. And I think it's a great idea just to unify the family and get you guys together. It's a good bonding experience, and they really, the memory boxes, they bring great happiness down the years. So, I mean, there is sadness when photos turn brown and fade, and you wonder, what treasures have been lost along the way? What stories did my fallen soldier have that I didn't know about? When you guys look at these old photos, he can't really say, he or she, the fallen soldier, they can't really talk to you. They're just old brown photos. And as I said before, digital data rot is something, that's the reason why we have these. That's the reason why we've initiated Not Forgotten Time Capsules, is to protect your data. A lot of people don't know this, but just like an old photo, how it goes brown and the edges curl up and it's still there, but it's really hard to view. And like my grandma said, her great-grandfather's photo is pretty muddled. Actually, it might have been her grandfather, but his photo is just like very hard to look at now. It's just blurred out, and we don't want that to happen to your photos. And that's why we've created these memory boxes, these time capsules, these products for you guys, because it ensures that no matter what happens to your data, nothing like that will happen. Because again, the physical photos, they age, they turn brown, the edges curl. That happens as well to your digital media. Everything ages. We are in the age of technology. We have an enormous amount of photos, on videos, of digital media on our phone. And, we pay for additional storage in the cloud. We think that's going to be enough. I mean, I actually do the same. I have 50,000 photos on my phone. It's nuts. But I'm now learning, it's a tough pill to swallow, but our photos and our videos will not stand the test of time. Our media will just decay over time. That's why if you've ever gone to open up a file and it says file corrupt, that's what that means. It means, unfortunately, that your data has been infected by digital data rot. And you could see that too when you're watching old videos from childhood and you have the lines growing across the screen. It's breaking a little bit. The sound is impacted. The video is aging. Photos age, even if they are digital. So that's what data rot is. It's the rot over time of your data, and it is inevitable. And we see this happening at the 10-year mark. So don't stress if a fallen soldier has passed away, 15 years ago, and you can still open the photos. You are very lucky and very blessed, and you need to put them in a memory box so that you can preserve them, and you don't have to go through that horrible feeling of trying to open a photo and the iCloud spinning wheel of death, and it doesn't let you open it. Because I have someone very close to me that passed away, and I can't open really photos of him, and it's very hard. So if you guys want to just make sure that you don't have to experience that, I would really recommend this product. And I'm actually going to make a tribute Memorial Day, well, not Memorial Day, but just a general memory box of someone that I know that passed away, just so I can make sure all of his photos are in one box and they're protected and they'll be preserved for his family, for his brothers to look at when they're older. And, that way they could say, this was Jack. They can tell their children, this was your uncle and he passed away at 17, and this is what he looked like, and this is what he sounded like. And, it is sad, but it also is really beautiful that we're able to do this thanks to technology and thanks to our CEO, who is so great with technology, great with coding, really knows everything there is to know about these time capsules. So I think it's really, really, really important that we start to put things in these memory boxes just to make sure nothing happens to them. So make sure their story is not forgotten, and everyone would like these time capsules. I know all of us have experienced loss. All of us have important photos and videos on our phones. I know we are having this niche episode because of Memorial Day weekend, but I want you guys to understand that these products are for everyone. I can't think of a single reason why anyone wouldn't want a memory box. Anyone sentimental, at least, or anyone looking for, a thoughtful family gift, anyone who wants to memorialize their fallen soldier, honor their story, anyone who just wants to remember their legacy and just remember someone's life. It's always great to look back at photos and videos. It brings a lot of comfort, but time capsules help people capture so much more because of what we are able to include in them. Voicemails, like I said before, if their favorite song, you can just go into YouTube and get an MP3 file and just put it in there, and you can always remember their favorite song. Just put everything in there that you can, and that's awesome because with physical time capsules, you can't even put voicemails, videos, music, recipes, maybe their favorite food in the whole world. They have a special recipe that they've created. A lot of our servicemen and women, they're people too. They're not just servicemen. They have lives. Maybe they were artists or chefs, and they have all of these personal traits about themselves. Maybe they want to include paintings that they've made, or music that they've come up with, or food they've created, recipes, and anything. Maybe they were an academic scholar and they did a lot of things. Maybe they have their PhD. You never really know with someone, and I think it's really important that we put everything in there. Maybe they loved poetry, put their poems in there. So think about your fallen soldier. Think about what makes them them, what really differentiates themselves, and put everything in there. If this memory box is for, your grandfather, for example, imagine being able to access it, to unpack it and revisit it, his story in the future, so you can show your children or other members of your family. You don't have to worry about technology, messing with the technology. There's no scratching around through thousands of old videos and drawers. Just imagine it now. It's just family gathered around. They're sharing stories and watching your grandfather's life through photos, through videos, voicemails, etc. It captures the story of who they are, and it can give your family and your loved ones the context they may not have when they're talking about old stories. Of course, he or she will live long in your memory, but even the most vivid memories fade. That's why these memory boxes are so helpful in preserving one's story. But everyone's serious about preserving their media. They understand the digital data rot that we're talking about. They know that photos fade, that videos warp, and technologies move on. Technology obsolescence is something I mentioned earlier, and what that means is just technologies move on. Back in the day, they used to do like the VCRs, the cassettes. You don't see that anymore. It's very hard to get a cassette player unless you're, on eBay or probably on Amazon. You can get an old one, but it's difficult. So we want to make sure that when you are going to get your time capsule, that we can give it to you on technology that is compatible with what we are using in the current time. So if you went to get your time capsule in 20 years from now and we gave it to you on a CD, it would be very hard for you to play that time capsule. I mean, right now, my Apple MacBook doesn't even have a CD player on the side anymore. There's no place to insert a CD. So as we are evolving in technology, everything is just so quick to be old and it doesn't work anymore. So technology obsolescence is a huge problem that we have. And we work really hard in making sure that you don't have to deal with that. So all you do is make your time capsule, create your memory box, and we continually switch out the technology to make sure it's compatible with whatever you are using when you go to check it out. So, if we're still using USBs in the future, you'll get it on a USB. If we're using something else, like a little chip, a microchip, who knows, you'll get it on a microchip. So that's awesome because you don't have to worry about it, And what many of these committed people, like we just talked about, they don't know, despite their diligence and attention to detail, is that the digital data does rot. It is inevitable, just like its physical counterpart. And videos are also, they're just not safely kept in the cloud. If you combine this with the incredible rate of technology obsolescence, and your memorabilia could be gone, it could be only 1 decade away from being lost. And technology is very delicate. I say it every time to all of my clients. It's delicate, it's finicky, and you would be very surprised at how easily it can just fall apart. An example I can give you is a lot of brides, they store their wedding tapes in the attic or in the basement. And that is just a huge no. Please don't do that, because if you put that in there, the weather, if it's a little bit too warm, if it's a little too humid, if it's a little too cold, anything, digital data can just rot, so the tapes can just start to not work. That's the same thing goes for hard drives. If you're backing up your computer and you feel like, yes, I'm so organized, I have everything going, I can have these for 50 years, I can just plug in my hard drive and everything's labeled, I know where everything is. I hate to break it to you, but if you're not storing it the right way, like anything can set these off. So that's why we've created Not Forgotten, because no one has the ability to do these kinds of things. And from my belief, my opinion, I feel like we are just really revolutionizing the game for this. And I think that we're taking a lot of worry away from our customers, because you don't have to worry about losing your time capsule. You don't have to worry about it being, hard to play because you don't have a cassette player, for example. And you don't have to worry about it just falling apart. And you don't have to worry about you going to look for your photos and videos and just not having them. So we do cover all time capsules for these eventualities. We safeguard the data for up to 300 years. Of course, with the memory box, it is 150 years. But we do this with the combination of blockchain encryption and data storage in our climate-controlled vaults in the U.S. So we do adhere to the preservation policy standards, again, set by the U.S. Library of Congress and the U.S. National Archives and Records Administration. So our time capsules really feature the highest archiving standards. And we basically do everything for you in a nutshell. If you want to just wrap up everything I said, all you have to do is create an amazing memory box, and we take care of it for you. We make sure that you're able to access it, and we make sure that nothing happens to it and that it's never lost. And that's really it. You don't even need to know the technology behind it if you don't want to. Just know and trust us that we have your data. People are always interested in preserving their history for generations of a family to enjoy. So let's just make sure it's done properly. And now these memories can create celebrations of their own, like I mentioned with the Memorial Day barbecue. If you guys make this time capsule for someone who passed away and you say, let's get back together, have a family reunion in 5 years at another Memorial Day barbecue, and let's open it. And your children, your family, everyone will really appreciate this, and it'll keep their memory alive. The surprises that lie in store, it's all part of the plan. Also, when you are creating these time capsules, someone can go into a room and talk about a story with a fallen soldier, and so that it's a surprise when you all open it together. Something to look forward to. And it really is a beautiful gift. It's a beautiful product, and I hope you guys will buy it on our Amazon storefront. And I have a little unpacking just so you can see what it looks like when you do buy it. Oops, so this is the envelope that it comes in. It's navy. and it has a really nice gold logo. And when you open it, you get a few things. You get the brochure. So I always say this is perfect if you're gift giving, because this product is like cool, you know, and people are gonna be like, a digital time capsule, what is that? Well, save yourself the time and hassle, because we've put every question that they have in this. So you don't have to answer any texts and call them back and say, this is what it is and this is how you do it. No, leave it in our hands. We got it. This brochure just breaks down who we are, how it works, customer stories, get inspired. So just inspirational ways to use the time capsules if you're blanking. We also have the frequently asked questions, privacy policy, and contact us. So everything that you need in here answers everything you need, and it's very useful. So please use that if you get it. Please read through it all, because it's really great. Another thing that I love is, you know, when you are making these time capsules together, when you're making these memory boxes, you guys can fill out a family tree and essentially just make your not forgotten family tree. It's like your family tree come to life, because you're able to use this digital media to really paint the picture of who your family members are. And by doing this and filling this out together, you get a better idea of, you know, who in your family should make a time capsule. And also, it's really great if you're thinking, oh no, my aunt's birthday is coming up, I have no idea what to get her. Check this, see if she's made a time capsule, and then be like, okay, I know what to get her. So, awesome. Another thing is the certificate of asset contribution. It's just a good little piece of paper that just shows you, you know, where to view your records of the Not Forgotten Time Capsule, and it just reminds you that it just certifies that your video has been incorporated into the Digital Preservation Trust and ensures that your legacy can be passed from generation to generation. So just hold on to this piece of paper. These are just important little documents. And also, one of my favorite ones is the will. So there's a piece of paper that you put when you put your time capsule, when you put this in your will. So it's funny, I love it, because you leave your will, and they're reading out the will, and they're like, ooh, did he leave me money? Nope, but he left you a time capsule. So kind of love that. It's funny, and also it says to locate your video, it tells you exactly where to go, where to find your genealogy records, and also the WorldCat. So we literally make sure that you don't have to worry about anything once you do it, because like it's a lot of information, and we make sure that you are all set. And then lastly, we do have a little gift card, which is new. It's little and cute, and you can buy it on Amazon, obviously on our storefront. I think it's totally worth it. It gives whoever you're gifting to their unique license code, and they're able to go on notforgotten.com, redeem their gift card, and create their time capsule. So with this, right, you get the two important documents. You get the gift card, you get the family tree planner, and then you get that brochure in a beautiful navy envelope. So I definitely think it's worth it. Again, we are on Amazon Prime, so go place your orders for Memorial Day weekend. Get everyone together and make it a true experience to remember. A lot of us have been in lockdown in the pandemic, so we're all getting together for the first time. And let's just have fun with it, and let's make it really special. I know we haven't seen each other in a while, and we can get together and celebrate someone's life while enjoying our own as well, which I think is totally great. So we do combine the preservation expertise, the highest archiving standards, intelligent tracing tools, exclusive mapping technology, and a process of meticulously cataloging each time capsule. Our trust also guarantees that your loved ones' stories and memories are safe and secure for up to 300 years, in this case 150. Better still, we do pride ourselves on making our technology very easy to use. In fact, it was designed with this in mind, so it's no hassle at all for your loved ones to put together a time capsule. If my grandma can do it, so can you guys. I have full faith. And we are, able to give you the solution to your problems. We solve the unique issue that we all have of how to keep your stories, your family history, and your memorabilia safe and accessible for generations of your family to enjoy. So, imagine your grandchildren being able to introduce your fallen soldier to their children in 100 years' time. Imagine the relief at having all of your fallen soldiers' memorabilia safe, accessible, protected, ready to be drawn from a library for hundreds of years. Women's Daily actually calls this innovative new take on time capsules the gift of immortalizing one's life for centuries to come. and Fortune Herald hailed it as a scrapbook that will live on for centuries. I love that. If you guys are watching still and you love scrapbooking, this is just for you. It's the perfect product. So this is great. It's like a digital scrapbook in a little digital treasure box, digital scrapbook, just everything you love thrown into a memory box. And memories are very important, and the best ones never fade. But what keeps memories alive? That's important when you consider how time is so unkind to photographs, CDs, and videos. We now know that even digital data rots as the years pass. For people who do cherish their memories and the stories they tell, this is a hard truth to swallow. It means memories will fade and stories will die, but Not Forgotten changes this because now everyone can safeguard their cherished memories for centuries. So no more scratching through drawers or flicking through thousands of files. Just store your assets in a memory box, share it on our study media platform, revisit it often, and enjoy for lifetimes and beyond. These time capsules really do turn individual lives into the ultimate gift. And when you need to be the voice that speaks for loved ones, if your fallen soldier has passed away, for example, do justice to their life and their achievements. It really speaks volumes, and now their story can be shared as it was always meant to be heard. Nothing missing, nothing fading, and everything all here safe and secure in a memory box, and also safely archived in our time capsules data climate controlled vaults. So you'll have these for many generations. They are built on unique technology. They're made right here in the US, and they are just the perfect gift, and they are the perfect product for remembering someone that you loved, and just making sure that they are never forgotten. So if you want to get this on the Amazon Not Forgotten store, be sure to grab that while you can. Again, we are on Amazon Prime, so it is Memorial Day weekend. Let's honor those that we love before we go out and celebrate and, get together with our friends and family that we haven't seen in a long time. Please make sure to also pay tribute to the soldiers that have allowed us our freedoms, that have fought for us and have died in doing so. Please do this, buy a time capsule, get your memory box, and make sure that, all of their memories, all of their letters that they've written, everything that really means something to you is safely secured in this memory box and preserved for up to 150 years. You won't regret it. You'll only regret it if you don't get it. So you won't find anything else like this on the market. It really is a new category, a new generation of product. And it's a gift, in my personal opinion, unlike any other. So it really is an experience. It'll allow you and your loved ones to be remembered for generations. So this weekend, guys, have an amazing weekend. Be safe, have fun, and think about your soldiers and how you can honor them. And if you want to do it through a memory box, feel free to go on to our Not Forgotten storefront on Amazon and purchase that right away, and enjoy yourself. So thank you guys so much. We will have another episode next week. We always do this Fridays at 4 p.m. So I appreciate you guys for sticking in there. Have a great weekend and be safe.